5:58.
Oh, 2 minutes. I'm going to stare at us silently and awkwardly 2 minutes. Welcome to our Happy Hobbit panel, The World Ahead. Woo! So, just out of curiosity, how many of you have actually seen our web show, Happy Hobbit? What? It's a lot more of you than I thought. It is. So, don't worry, if you haven't seen it yet, now you're going to get to find out a little bit about it. So, here we go. We are known as Kili and Fili. We were given these nicknames. My real name is Kellie, and so by extension,
Fili, Alex.
That sister became Fili. And so, the point of our show is to bring, you can say it.
Oh, yeah. The point is just to bring Middle-earth into your daily life just through crafts or activities or recipes. Any way you can really bring an elf or a dwarf or a hobbit into, just daily life.
There was one about an orc though. We had Thanksgiving, we had a holiday special where it was Orcsgiving, and we tried to domesticate an orc to bring to, a family.
It didn't go so well.
Yeah. And we try to keep it rated G because a lot of kids like to watch our show too, and there's fun, cute little animals and stuff.
So we started in 2012 for the OneRing.net, which is the #1 Tolkien fan site. You guys might have seen it. So we produce it for that website.
So then we were plodding along, just having fun with our little following, and just we like
3 comments on a video.
That's the whole reason we do it though, is just to have fun. And then when the trailer for The Desolation of Smaug was released in June of 2013, we were supposed to write in our responses to it for the One Ring.
But we didn't have time for that, so I'm like, okay, let's just film it because we're too busy.
And we make videos anyway.
So we're like, no one's probably going to watch it, but at least then it's done. People know what we thought.
So we filmed it, and the video ended up going viral because we had big, crazy reactions. And Peter Jackson shared it on his Facebook page and then filmed his elven cast reacting to it, and so here's a little image from that. And
we got a little excited. A little bit. Just a little.
So that was really fun and very psychedelic on our part.
Very, very true.
But it took our little show that was just kind of inspired by our rural lifestyle and our kind of country upbringing into a direction that we didn't expect.
And brought in way more people in to be seeing it. And then not only random amazing fans, sorry, I'm loud about this, but even Weta and Peter Jackson and stuff, just seeing this besides regular people is just weird.
Well, and because it did go viral, it meant that suddenly we had a lot more eyeballs on us. On the morning that I woke up after it went viral, I had 200 emails in my inbox, and people contacting us for press. And it was really intimidating because we're just normal people, and this is just, what we happen to be doing. And are they going to write about us making fun of us, or are they going to write about us because they actually think it's interesting? And so
overwhelming.
My instinct was to run in the woods and hide, which I did for a while.
And I said, no, let's email them back, let's talk to them.
She's a lot better at handling that sort of thing. My instinct is always to hide. But
she's the Katniss.
So we, as a response to this, got to be press on the red carpet, well, it was actually the black carpet, for the Hollywood premieres for The Desolation of Smaug and for
Battle of the 5 Armies. Blanked on the name. Most recently.
And we also got to go to a lot of conventions last summer, so here's a picture of us. This is our Fili and Kili costumes, or our attempt at them. We aren't very...
That was our first panel we did.
We are very good. Oh, here we are at San Diego Comic Con. We got to meet Evangeline Lilly, and she was psyched to meet the 2 girls from the video. And the great thing about that video is, if you imagine filmmaking, you don't have much of an opportunity to watch an audience's live reaction to what you're doing. You can see statistics, you can maybe sneak into a theater and spy on people, which is kind of weird, but I might do that if I was a director. But this was a way for them to gauge the hype and how interested people were. And so, as crazy as a journey as it sent us on, we're just so grateful that we were able to give back that small reassurance, that small bit of happiness to the people who worked on these films that we love. So here we are at one of the premieres.
I think that was the first one.
That I got drunk and I challenged Walla into an arm wrestling contest.
It got kind of crazy.
He looks like he's laughing.
I totally lost.
And then we met our counterparts, like Kili and Fili.
And they didn't like Kili, because the other Kili wasn't there, so I was all alone.
Everyone had to be, all Kilis had to be shown.
I almost won this, I just have to say, with Kili versus Fili.
It was tough. I mean, he is a dwarf, and you're kind of like...
I'm supposed to be a dwarf too, okay?
Hey, you're an overgrown dwarf.
So I ran off with Bomber.
I was gonna say, Kili got a little bit, you know, her and Bomber really hit it off.
He bought me whiskey, okay? I guess that's all it takes.
Well, you're a dwarf.
So that night that we were palling around with the dwarves before the premiere, we found out that there were fans camped out already waiting for the film. And so we're like, you guys should go say hi. And they believe me. Or don't believe me. This shocked us that they thought, but what if they don't recognize us?
They honestly did not think anyone...
Because they have all those prosthetics and stuff. We're like, no, you wait and see. And they're like, okay. So they go down, and then they tap on a gal's shoulder, and she turns around, looks at them, and immediately goes like this. And he goes, see, Graham says, she doesn't know who I am. I said, that's the face of someone who knows who you are. And on cue, she pulls up her Hobbit blanket. And so it was just an amazing experience to be there and to get to see these people's reaction to these actors and to see. And some of the fans we met that night wrote it being like, this changed my life. You know, getting to meet these people and know how kind and generous they are, it changed my life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a little clip to play here, which kind of summarizes the viral video madness, and then we'll give you a sampling of what we do on our show for those of you who haven't seen it yet.
Two die-hard Hobbit fans received a major
There was a response online, and these two girls went absolutely ballistic.
Response these local women got because of their love of the Hobbits.
Jackson, yes, Peter Jackson found the video and posted it on his Facebook page. What?
Oh, that's cool.
That's cute.
Kellie and Alex posted a video of themselves watching the latest trailer, and Sophia saw it. He called it pretty cute and asked his actors for their take on it.
Let's do a response. So they filmed us responding to these girls, responding to the trailer.
They are enjoying watching these girls watch the trailer.
I'm gonna pee, is what that says.
The only word I understood there, I'm peeing.
You didn't even quote me right.
For the OneRing.net, which is a leading fan site for all things Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
You're from a room on there. These are the two girls that we filmed that, you guys know.
Freaking out now because they got told by Admiral.
I'm gonna pee!
What happened to you now?
I'm gonna kiss my unlock. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That was just.
That was him. That was him.
No, you
Every time it comes up with these genius ideas. I mean, it was just like I saw that thing. We just happened to be on set with you guys, and it's not really funny.
How about some positive local news there? We love reporting on the good things happening in our community. It's not every day. A world-famous director of your favorite movie series shows a video that you made to the stars of the movie.
Thank you. I'm Kili. Welcome to Happy Hobbit.
Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Fili, also known as Alex,
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you a happy Hobbit. Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit.
Love the results.
Next, I'll show you how to store the berries that you've picked.
Really?
Did you see who ate the berries?
Yeah, it was a Sackville Baggins.
I can't believe Lobelia stole the berries. Like, I don't get it.
Where's my pony, Fili?
Lost him. We all know that. They know that.
Come on!
Mount Kili. What is this episode about? When Kili gets trampled and left for dead, Buddy leaves the scene of the crime. Fast!
For this recipe, you're going to need flour, butter, which is overly melted as Happy Hobbit tradition. You know, it's kind of screw the moment. Can of pumpkin if you can't get a whole pumpkin from Farmer Mag.
Stop it, Kili! Her maggots crushing! There's a pumpkin over here.
See, look.
Okay, well, whatever. We need to get out of here. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's not home.
You want to make a bet?
No! Jerry, think! Rocky, run!
Remember we're in the safety of our own home? What better way than to bring a piece of Spielberg into your backyard with racist hobbits? Well, not only do
Oh yeah? Because you have that flying feeling. Flying feeling is the cute talker? Oh my God, you scared me! Kili, we're on.
You're filming?
We're
So as you can tell, it's a lot of madness mixed in with our episodes. We try to keep it very lighthearted and silly. It's obviously a little bit weird, you know.
But educational at the same time.
Yeah.
We love it when like we teach you how to do something and then people go home and they try it and then they send us pictures of either the recipe they baked or the craft they made or chicken that they got. In fact, our livestock episodes, we've been lucky because your goat episode.
Oh yeah, that's true. Our episode on just goat basics, on how to just feed and take care of and just everything that goes, the basics of taking care of goats, has gotten, I don't even know, a very lot of views. I think like about 30,000, which is a lot for like our average little like educational videos. And so not only is it teaching like Tolkien fans, but it's branching out into just random people who are like, oh, I want to learn about goats, and then they go to us so then they can learn, I don't know, just anything even if they aren't a geek.
For good or ill, I think our most watched episode, other than the viral video, is the one where I teach how to brew hard apple cider. But it's been fun to see, someone wrote into us saying that they found our show through the goat episode and then the very next day went out and bought 2 kids and named them Kili and Fili. I won't say that that's after us, but you know, it's just wonderful to know that you're, you know, creating this connection with people that you maybe have never even met and helping educate them about something that they're passionate about or curious about, or
and giving them too the confidence to just be like, especially just things as simple as like making bread or like a recipe. A lot of people get intimidated by that, like, oh, yeast bread or like making chocolates. That sounds really intimidating.
But then they watch us screw it up on camera and then fix it.
Yeah.
And then they know they can do it too.
I was like, yeah, we're not perfect, but you can do it. So it not only is geeky fun, but it inspires people to be able to, I don't know, do stuff on their own like that.
And the cool thing about our show is we also have a Facebook like page. And it's kind of become a community. In fact, one of our regular posters was joking that after Battle of the Five Armies comes out, it's going to become a support group. And so a couple people came and were like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm here to, you know, share a little about myself, because we've just had countless people write in and tell us that whenever I'm having a bad day or whenever I, you know, am sick or whatever, I watch Happy Hobbit, it makes me smile. And what better gift can you ever give someone than that?
Especially with our viral video, which is obviously all sorts of crazy, and the reactions to that with Evangeline Lilly and Lee Pace and all them. That one, yeah, people said that a lot. That I remember this one fan was going through, I think someone was really ill in her family. She said she went to go to a library every day just to be able to have internet to watch it, to make herself feel better.
And then an unexpected side effect too was, especially young girls, like 13 to 16-year-old girls writing into us, being like, I want to be just like you when I grow up, and and who's your favorite character, and this and that, and so all of a sudden we were thrust into kind of a role model position.
Which was a little adjusting, or have to adjust to at first. But
well, it makes you aware of your actions and what you say and your behavior in a way that you weren't before when you are in that public space, because I think a lot of parents go through that naturally as parents, but we're not parents, and so, you know, like we were at a One Ring event that we have a fellow staff member here,
Yeah, that's true.
and she, did I say that right? Garfemau.
We have 2 fellow staff members, actually.
And, yes. Oh, that's true. And our mother, who we called Dees, because in the books that was Fili and Kili's mother's name. The only dwarven woman who was ever deemed worthy to have a name.
That's true.
And that was only because, spoiler, her sons don't make it.
Felt a little guilty, I guess.
Yeah. But, well, I was at this party, and this little girl wanted an autograph, and then she wanted a photo, and I realized I had a beer in my hand. I thought, what do I do with the beer? Do I keep it in the picture? Do I really obviously like set it down so that she sees me setting it down? Or do I say, look, you can drink responsibly and be an adult and not have issues? And instead the picture turned out like this.
And that was so crazy that when we brought the actors to the fans, because they were just, honestly, did not believe anyone would recognize them. And it's like, these people are waiting. It was at least like,
it was
24 hours.
It was 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And the
I don't know why we were still out. The bars are closed.
But the premiere was like 7 the next day. It's like, obviously, they're going to know who you are. They're waiting this long.
I know. Ultra fans. We love ultra fans. So people have often asked us, because movies are done.
Oh yeah, that they all think that Happy Hobbit's going to end, but as we keep saying over and over again, it's not going to end. There's no reason for it to end just because the movies end. I mean, it's not like we only made them because of the films. We started them just because we realized that so many things we were doing at home were kind of Hobbity or Elven related, and then she was like, hey, we should start filming this and make a show about it.
Well, I had this week where I was cleaning sheep's wool, trying to cure acorns to make them edible, which didn't work, and brewing blackberry wine from berries I picked, and I thought, this is not really hobbity stuff. Like, this would be, and my first thought was a blog, and then I thought, then I could include videos! And it was like a few hours until I was like, or I could just do videos. And so this was actually before we were One Ring staff, so we pitched it to the head of the One Ring, and he said, green as go, and then after our first couple episodes came out, he said, oh, we'd like to bring you on as staff, and so we were super excited.
Very exciting.
Because the OneRing.net was a page that I would check obsessively, several hours a day.
You should go there if you haven't.
It's a great, it's a great news site for all things Tolkien, and there is still a lot of Tolkien stuff going on. Just because the films are done, doesn't mean that that's the end of Middle Earth. And we've heard some, exciting stories about the extended edition that's coming out in
I think in November, in rumors of Patrick Stewart, perhaps, being involved with a Gandalf scheme.
And
what's his name?
I don't think that was in this room.
No. Did they say fire?
I thought they said Viper.
Oh, I thought they said fire.
They said fire, they should have yelled it a lot louder.
Just wants to save himself.
So we're nearly at 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is really exciting because, like I said, before we went viral, I was literally the morning of, I was all excited that we had 300 likes on Facebook and I was going to post about it and be like, yay! And then that happened. But if Happy Hobbit's something that you're interested in, or even just learning things like this, I do encourage you to follow us on Facebook, just so that you can get more of our content, and we'll post. What did you most recently post? What was your most recent episode about?
What was it? That's right. It was so awesome, it blew my mind and I forgot. Well, you see, I got very into tie-dyeing lately, and then someone up here and I came up with an idea to make a tie-dye Elrond shirt. So we're like, how do we go about that? That would be an epic Happy Hobbit. So you can go on there and see beautiful ironed-on kit. You use that, iron on this beautiful picture of Elrond tie-dye, and it's pretty epic. You can't really get better than a tie-dye Elrond shirt. So, we have a wide range of
But like the picture of Elrond is in this gilded frame,
Oh,
so it
it's
looks like a
epic.
bizarre family photo. And so
He's just all regal sitting there in the middle of just a rainbow explosion.
but you wouldn't have access to that Elrond photo if you didn't like our page, because she put it up to our page so that people could download it.
That's true.
And you screen print it onto their own tie-dye Elrond shirts.
That's true. It's pretty epic.
So through all these crazy experiences, obviously, we went viral a year ago.
Or I thought it was 2.
2 years? 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm old, okay? and it took a lot of adjusting. Like I said, hiding in the woods. I hid in the woods for a while. And
Especially took a while to adjust to going to conventions and having people recognize you is a really bizarre concept. Because you
Ask
kind of
for your
see people
photo.
staring and then you're like, what? And then they come up and they're like, oh, I recognize you from Happy Hobbit. It's just it's great, but it's just a trippy thing to kind of get used to.
And then, because of that experience, though, it gave us skills for how to engage an audience and keep them engaged and to build a community, because that's what we love the most about our show. It's not that, like, you guys are laughing at our antics on camera. It's that we're creating a welcome atmosphere and a welcome place for people to come and feel like my geek side is understood, because we do hear from people who are like, I'm in Iowa or I'm in, name the place, and I literally know no one who has even cares about Lord of the Rings or even cares about Middle Earth. So I go online and then I find this online community, it's called fandom. And that's been the most rewarding part, but it's also taught us a skill set that we've been able to bring into other aspects of our lives. For example, I was born a writer, essentially, and I was about to publish my first book right before we went viral, so that turned out to be a great coincidence. But obviously that gave me a huge boost in my own career. So my real name is Kelly, but I write under K.M. Rice. My idea behind that was that no one will know my gender, so no one can come to my books thinking I'm not going to read a book by a girl, but then I went and put an author photo on the back. And now I'm using images like this to be like, K.M. Rice!
Hey, you never know.
I didn't think it through all the way. But, I wrote and illustrated my first book in kindergarten. Basically, as soon as I learned how to read, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that thing with the books, and so I wrote a story called The Haunted House, about a trick-or-treater who knocks on the wrong door. I went to San Jose State University just down the road, which is a great school. I highly recommend it. I got my BA in English, and then I got my Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. I wrote my first novel as my thesis in 2009. It's part of a series that has yet to be published, a young adult series. And because it didn't fit tidily into a marketing box, I had a lot of trouble even getting interest from publishers or agents. And so I thought, okay, instead of investing more time into writing all the books in the series, I'm going to write a separate book, see if I can get any interest in that. So that second book was Darkling. And I wrote that in 2011, and when I went to market that, I got very unique responses, I'll say. It's a dark fantasy, so that means it's horror. It has elements of horror and elements of the fantastical, but it's also a love story. So one of the agents I queried was a romance agent, and she wrote back to me saying, I really liked it, but it's too scary. So, I kept getting comments like,
Horror shouldn't be scary.
Yeah.
I guess I don't do cozy, unfortunately. So I got tired, basically, of being told that no one knew how to market my stuff because it wasn't put into little cookie cutters. That's why I decided to self-publish. Now, I'm guessing some of you are interested in self-publishing, and I can highly recommend going through not only Amazon with Kindle, but Amazon's imprint company, CreateSpace. Now what CreateSpace does is they will print on demand, so there is no cost to you, no cost to them until someone already pays for a book. And that way, you're able to keep far more of your royalties than you ever would with a traditional publisher. A good contract with a traditional publisher will give the author 7 to 10% of the royalties from every book earned. That's it. And that's just the business. So if you are going to go independent, it is a nice way to keep more of your earnings than you otherwise would. You can control your creative content, which you otherwise could not. And I used to just think, oh, I'm just, going to self-publish for a little bit, but if only I could get this book, picked up by a traditional publisher, then all my dreams would come true, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I'd be granted a bunch of New York Times bestsellers. And it was interesting to hear their point of view on the publishing landscape and how many of their editors and agents have told them, no, you can't write that story about a girl, no one will read it. No, you can't write that story about a brown person, no one will read it. No, you can't write that story about a gay person, no one will read it. And so they had to change the actual content of their story, which is terrifying to any creative person, to actually have it be sold and traditionally published. So that's why there's been this big shift in the publishing world. Books that have gotten super popular in the independent publishing world have started to change the landscape. And it's been a struggling industry all along, but it's been a struggling industry especially since the collapse of Borders and the collapse of brick and mortar bookstores. And I think it's actually trickled into Hollywood a little bit, because if you notice, are there any original films coming out? They're all remakes, they're all sequels, they're all based on previous material, so all the comic book movies and stuff like that, or video game movies. So people want a sure deal, so it's very difficult to be an original voice in the sense that this story hasn't been told yet and get big support. And even if you do go through traditional publishing, unless you're one of their A-listers, the marketing budget they'll give you is almost nil. So there isn't that big of an advantage unless you really, really need that advance. So as I said earlier, my first biggest supporters were Happy Hobbit fans, people who bought my book and started leaving these nice reviews and helping me feel that I didn't make a horrible mistake by self-publishing. And that started to trickle into some folks in the industry. Oh, this is my book at Bookshop Santa Cruz. You can buy it there. It's a scary story, perfect for Halloween. So, following your passion can lead to great things. As I said, we've been going to conventions and stuff, and we went to Comic-Con for the first time, San Diego Comic-Con in 2012. There, at a party for the One Ring, we met Sir Richard Taylor, who, if you don't know who he is, he's a 5-time Oscar winner for Lord of the Rings. And he co-founded Weta Workshop, which did all the props, sets, costumes, special effects.
Basically Middle-earth.
Yeah, for all Middle-earth, Avatar, they just did Mad Max, Chappie. They've done, their list goes on and on. So we just happened to meet at this party talking about horses, so something completely unrelated and connected as people. But because of that friendship, here he is visiting us. He's an actual real-life wizard. He's so tall.
He instantly hobbits everyone.
Yeah. So last year, a project came up that he was working on with another company called Magic Leap, which some of you may know, because Google, down the road here, invested $540 million in them earlier in the year. And he suggested me for this project because he thought I might be a good fit, but I still had to audition with other writers, and I did end up getting the gig, which was really exciting. And but none of that would have been possible if I had not been a nerd and gone to San Diego Comic-Con and gone to a One Ring party, wanting to bond with other nerds, and then happened to meet this person and have an actual human, connection with them. And that's a great thing about conventions, is you can network with people, because look, if you're already at a convention, you're already into science fiction or fantasy or magical realism or something of that, so you know that you already connect on that level.
You can make friends very easily. Yeah. I'm sure you guys will learn here unless you're seasoned con-goers, and you'll know already.
So I spent March in New Zealand, and I got to go a couple places. One of the main things I was there to do, though, because the Great War is just happens to be a big passion, something I'm passionately interested in, and so is Peter Jackson. So I had the opportunity to go down to Weta Workshop and help out with Peter Jackson's museum. This mannequin behind me is actually there are 2 World War I museums going on, because in the Southern Hemisphere, Gallipoli, and the Battle of Gallipoli is a major to-do, and it was the centennial when I was there. So this was a sculpture from the Te Papa exhibit, which is a wonderful museum. If you're ever in Wellington, New Zealand, I do recommend going there. But I got to see, this is the spot where,
get off the road!
this is where the ring wraith finds Frodo. It was a fake tree, I was devastated to learn. But that's where...
It was a real tree, it's just gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a real tree. Because I've got a picture of me on.
With the real tree?
Yes.
And then I went to Hobbiton, which was just surreal. So it has led me, being the nerd geek, has led me to these wonderful opportunities, but it's also really bizarre to have the label of fan on you while you're in a professional situation like I was in March, where I'm here as a writer working on a museum, but everyone is wondering when she walks into that room with Peter Jackson, is she going to start screaming and fangirling out? Luckily I didn't. But like I said, my response to going viral was to hide in the woods. I wanted to be a writer because I thought that I could write my books and put them out into the world, and people would judge the book for the book, and I wouldn't be involved, and my face wouldn't be involved, because I was kind of interested in acting in my late teens, and I thought, I don't want to be rejected for what I look like or told I'm fat or anything like that, and so I wanted to keep this out of that. And I was kind of bummed in a weird way when Happy Hobbit took off, because I couldn't avoid that anymore. And I tried to fight against it for a long time. And it wasn't until this winter really that I had the epiphany that I have an audience of people who want to support me and who want me to succeed. And here I am trying to resist it just because they know what I look like. It didn't make any sense. So I've started, even though it makes me a little uncomfortable, I've started to try to learn to use that momentum to build readership. So on my author page and my author website, KM Rice, I'm starting to build a community which is similar to what we did with Happy Hobbit, except it's based, instead of around someone else's work, it's based around the idea of get inspired, create your own work. If my work happens to inspire you to do that, awesome. If not, show me what inspires you, because who says no to inspiration? So these are just a handful of the graphics that we've made, and a lot of that's been in part because of this woman sitting next to me who has a great eye and manages to make me not uncomfortable when my picture's being taken. So these are two of my author photos. And she's a wonderful photographer.
So I've always been interested in photography ever since I was a kid. My mom can tell you, I went through dozens and dozens of disposable cameras until she finally helped me get just a Canon digital power shot. And then I used that forever and ever and just got probably like 3 or 4 of those until I was finally able to afford a DSLR. And ever since that has come into being, it's been my child. Take it with me almost everywhere. It's up here now, have a meet and greet. But yeah, so I've just always been very passionate about it and about taking pictures of animals or nature.
And incredibly talented. When she was the kid with her little point-and-shoot disposable camera, she was getting better pictures than I was with our fancy cameras, and I just couldn't understand. We're looking at the same thing. How am I not doing it? And she is, but it's just an innate skill.
Well, she's very nice. But besides taking pictures of just animals and horses and everything, which I love, I also love almost the most, probably, taking pictures of people, and especially of moments, and the pictures between the pictures where people are just at their most natural state and sharing just a moment or emotions. And so recently I've been starting to build a business around wedding photography, because I did my first wedding fairly recently and I just kind of fell in love with it, just because it's so, I don't know, amazing just to be able to be there just with around so much happiness and love, and be able to just capture that and keep that forever for somebody, and just being able to capture these special moments between 2 people or the family or the kids of the family, and just, I don't know.
The guests.
Yes, the guests. But yeah, so those are the things I do, weddings and pet pictures, or if you just want a random photo shoot of just you doing something cool like I've done with her a million times. Or family
She makes me look so much cooler than I am, trust me.
But, so there's just a few samples from some of the weddings and things I've done.
What's it gonna belly?
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun just being able to, especially moments like these when, of course, the ceremony and everything is important, but to me what's just as important is capturing the family and everyone else who's related to the bride and groom or the guests, like the kids in just their natural state, poking around at the pond, because it's just, I don't know, I just love that. And then portraits as well. It's a lot of fun. But, and like she was saying too, with being able to, once you do something like a Happy Hobbit or build something where you do form some sort of community or fans, and then once you do your own thing, like she's doing her books and my photography and filmmaking, then you kind of automatically have, like, no matter how small or big the audience is, you do have people who will be willing to support you, and even if it's 5 or 500, it doesn't matter. You still have someone, and so you're still bringing joy or whatever it is to those however many people. That's our dog. Oh, and then a random little side note is from Happy Hobbit has given me a lot of skills. We've always been interested in filmmaking, but Happy Hobbit has given me a lot of experience with all sorts of different types of filmmaking and situations. And so I'm a San Jose State student, along with these two fellows in the front, and they've both been part of this. Started a TV show for SJSU, and if you're an SJSU student or know anyone who is, they are totally welcome to join. It's a sketch comedy show for kind of variety thing, SNL vibe, and it's just a lot of fun, and it enables people to be able to take the next step after film classes and learn more. So Happy Hobbit kind of gave me the confidence boost to help start that up.
Which nothing like this existed at the school until she decided this should, and she made it happen.
Well, because you realize that you're missing something, and then you're like, oh, I could do that. I could fill in that blank. So it's just a lot of fun. There's a regular show on there called Churning Amish. It's a reality show
about people who are half human Amish, half robot.
Yeah. And then just 2 other random characters from a skit. So it's a bunch of madness. If you want to check it out, it's on Spartan TV, SJSU, on YouTube, or on Facebook, but it's a lot of fun.
So she's in film school learning all these things, and she already has a natural eye, and I'm trying to build an image and an idea around my pen name. So this summer we teamed up to make a short film, which you guys get to have a world premiere of right now. It's called Wildling, because I have called people who follow my what I do wildlings, because the whole point is to unleash your wildish nature. So I will go ahead and let this speak for itself.
Who's that? I wasn't on. I don't know who that is. I was really
But the party's only just started. I can't dance.
You've forgotten me. You know who I am. let them tame you. Become a wildling. Run free.
So, in summary,
Yeah, that part had her freaked out.
so we've got cards up here for both, for Happy Hobbit. If you'd like to learn more, it's got our web addresses and everything on it. You're going to have more photos. Well, tell them about your website.
Oh yeah, I just launched my website, alexanderricephotography.com, which has a bit of my portfolio on there. And yeah, just follow Happy Hobbit on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, YouTube.
I don't know how else to get to the slides. So I'm going to have a short story and selected poetry collection coming out really soon. It's called The Country Beyond the Forests. So keep your eye out for that. I also have a new series coming out called Afterworld. And the first book is called Ophelia. I'm actually going to shop that around to publishers just to see what they have to say. If I don't like what they have to say, then I will self-publish it, so it certainly will be out at some point soon. And if you want to follow us on social media, you'll be able to keep up with what we have going on with news and readings and events and appearances such as this. And you can book my sister to be a photographer. Or even if you need a portrait or an author photo or anything done. So here are the works that I have out right now. I have a novella called The Wild Frontier. I contributed to the OneRing.net's book, Middle Earth Madness. There you go, my short story collection. camrice.com is where you'll have information. And so here is, as a finale, our sneak peek at the first book of my upcoming series, which is historical fantasy romance. It is called Ophelia. And this is the description. The past is present. What if it wasn't random, he whispered, and the hairs on the back of her neck rose one by one with tickling tugs. What if sometimes people are meant to be each other? Ophelia Brighton hasn't had a vision from the past since she was a small child. Now a grad student, both her thesis and her life are interrupted when a troubled young Irishman knocks on her door in Santa Cruz, California. Her visions return with his arrival, and Ophelia must struggle to balance her comfortable relationship with her surfer boyfriend amidst her growing confusion over her place in the world and time. When Ophelia's visions of the Victorian mystery reveal a secret that will change her future, she also discovers a love that was stronger than death. But is it too late to right the wrongs of the past? So there you have it. Sorry, we got a little panicked at the end there.
Thank you all so much for coming, and I hope that you will fun.
And if you have some here at 7:30 across the street at the Affinity Restaurant at the Hilton. No, not across the street, it's attached. Next door at the Affinity Restaurant, we're having a get-together, and you can order food if you want, or just hang out with us in the lobby and meet other Middle-earth fans and talk to us about anything you wanted to ask us after seeing the panel and everything like that.
Or if you can't make it, find us online, shoot us a question.
Exactly. But thank you all very much for coming.
Souvenir.